Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
Now, here's your host, Ed Cohen.
This is Ed in San Diego, California, and you're on Global TV Talk Show, a business unit of globalbusinessnews.net. This is program number something or other, but it's over 400 and less than 500. And according to Google Analytics, they say that we have had, in the last 2 years, about 171,000 audience page views. And that's pretty amazing. So thank you. And it's because of people like our special guest today, Denisa Goran. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, that's correct. It's Denisa Goran, yes.
That's terrific. Okay, and you're located where in Europe?
I'm in Romania, actually, a small, lovely country in the Eastern Europe.
So in Bucharest, or are you in a suburb?
In the suburb, yeah, just about an hour and a half from Bucharest.
And is that anywhere near Transylvania and Dracula's house?
Yes, actually, I'm now in Brasov, which is the heart and center of Transylvania. So yeah, you could say that we still have a few vampires here, although yeah, we're not exactly in the location of the Dracula's castle. Yeah, it's in Transylvania.
Thank you very much for being on our recent program, celebrating and supporting International Women's Day. And you at that time on the program talked about women entrepreneurs and inventors from around the world and how your country, Romania, albeit it's small, has a very large percentage of women who are doing it, right?
Exactly. You see, it's a small but very valuable country, and especially for women's contribution in inventing international patents. That was last year, and we ranked second place in Europe and sixth place globally. So I think it's pretty impressive, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, good for you. So Denisa is a social media specialist. I'm reading this so I don't screw up. Social media specialist and brand strategist, helping people to enhance their brand's online identity. So tell us about your website.
Okay, so yeah, I launched my new website who offers multiple types of social media services, such as, for instance, social media management, creative briefs that offer clear directions for implementing a social media strategy, copywriting, content writing. I even have a service who creates ebooks, catalogs. So, these are designed for almost anyone who needs a comprehensive strategy to integrate into their business. So far, I have worked with many industries, such as the global mobility, technology, education, even finance at some point. So in short, I believe anyone needs to use and to leverage social media in order to increase their company's awareness, to be known in the online space.
Well, just like that little sign above your head, don't forget to be awesome. That's
exactly.
Cool. That's very cool. So as you can see, I'm wearing Ukrainian colors today, and or sort of, and I wish them all well. Now, that's pretty close to you, right? On the map, it looks like it's next door, but maps are deceiving. What's the reality?
Well, you see, we are indeed, Romania is right across the border with Ukraine, and we have received a lot of refugees, so far about 400,000, if I'm not mistaken.
God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we are doing as much as we can because really everyone has tried to bring their contribution, from hotel owners to just catering services. Everyone wants to give a helping hand. And we do all these things for free, of course, for those people who want to just get away from Ukraine right now, because it's been a really crazy reality. If you
look, you grew up well, when you were just a kid, but your parents grew up under communism. And so the big bad wolf, the big bad bear, a Russian bear, is breathing down your neck again. So as an American, I'll tell you that the spirit is rising here to do something big and quick to prevent the Russian Empire from swallowing you and others. But let's talk about media. Let's talk about why it's important. I mean, it's so obvious now why it's important to use social media, but to do it right without, by right, I mean being authentic, truthful, and helpful, because a lot of people are not you and me. We're sort of self-trained or professionally trained to look at this silly green dot, not at each other. And to smile and to make sure like my background is interesting and your background is not cluttered, and the lighting is good and the sound is good. So social media presence is not just putting a logo up there, it's how you as an owner or as a business person represents yourself and your brand and the service and the product to the community, whoever that market is. So what are 3 ways to improve social media presence?
It's very hard to just stick to 3 because there are many new techniques these days that you can use in order to improve that. But firstly, and most importantly, I would say that you need to pick your goal. What exactly do you want to accomplish by using social media? Because if you, let's say, you want to build a social media presence as a brand, but you are not remotely interested in your customer, that will not work. So, for instance, do you want to increase your sales? Do you prefer to enter a younger audience, an older audience? So you need to be very specific because in today's market, things are quite saturated and you need to pick a niche and a sub-niche if you are really that good and address that. Besides, it is very important, in my opinion, to choose attainable goals. And choose those goals and make them smart. By smart here, I'm obviously referring to using numbers, having a time frame. You cannot just say, I want more followers, because what does that mean? For me, more should mean 1,000 followers. For you, it should mean 10,000. So it's relative. And at the same time, try to actually create achievable goals. You cannot just expect to increase your following overnight or whatever metric you are interested in growing, and you need to be very consistent. Secondly, once you choose that goal, you have to set your target audience. Who do you want to appeal to? An older audience, to a younger one? What does it mean again, older, younger? And most importantly, what is their behavior? Because you see, demographics as a marketing metric can sometimes show biased results because people are very, very different these days. For instance, at 40 years old, let's say, someone wants to focus on their family, whereas someone else at the same age wants to travel the world. So you see, even though they have the same age, they are very, very different individuals. So your marketing strategy cannot go that well just because of that detail. So it's really important.
Well, let me jump in and ask a question about the identification of the niche. Let's just call it that, the segmentation of the general demographic. And from my point of view, you just can't decide that, okay, from tomorrow at 4 p.m., I'm going to be ready to do a launch. Bang, So what I'm getting at is you prep the market, you soften up the market by getting some news and information about you or about the brand or about the ideas behind all of that, and with article penetration and liking someone else's thing that's sort of similar, just a way to get your association with the idea in the realm of awareness in your target space. And then when you finally come up to a week or two before your actual launch date, the market is already acquainted somewhat. They've heard your name before and they're getting ready, rather than bang, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Right? That's a good idea, isn't it? If it's done right.
And that's why teasers are so requested and recommended by all social media strategists before actually starting a campaign, because like you said, you have to prepare your audience. You cannot just directly throw them, look, that's my product, you have to buy it, because that's not how life works.
So let's talk about women and men, okay? First of all, from a marketing point of view, and then let's get into equality and what can be done about that. So who's your target market for what you're trying to do?
They should be C-level executives, or managers, essentially people who are in a position to make a decision. Those are the type of people I have worked with so far and planning on to work with furthermore.
So tell me about the show that we were on together last week about International Women's Day and #BreakTheBias. So Dr. Lynn Schmidt was my partner in the event, and she wrote the book Anti-Sexist, and it's her thing, that it's her take that everyone's a sexist to some extent. They just don't understand it enough and aren't aware of the impact of it. And so she's in favor of just laying it all out in front of everybody and saying everybody's a sexist. Now let's deal with this.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that because, at some point, even I had to admit that I was manifesting some kind of sexism, even though I wasn't aware of it. I've always thought of myself as being this strong feminist who fights for equality, for women's rights. And I think we all do at some point, but that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is that once we identify this, we are still proceeding to act this way. So firstly, it's a big problem if you do not identify being sexist, because yes, to an extent we all are. But then if you consciously decide not to do something about it, then there's a problem, in my opinion.
We're talking with Denisa Goran in just outside Bucharest, Romania. So let's talk. We have a few minutes remaining. There's something that I need to ask you because I need to be educated. On social media, people are using hashtags, which is the pound sign, and it's a hashtag, and then a word or two. Now, what kind of a hashtag should I use? I mean, you know me a little bit from the other show and now this, but so just on that surface look, what kind of a hashtag thing should I do?
It really depends on what your branding focuses on. If you want to focus on a personal brand, your name, for instance, or you should add your last name, your first name with the thing that you do. For instance, I will tell you what I do. I have a TikTok account that I use for business, and the name is Social by Denisa. It's what I do, my middle name, and that is the main hashtag that I use so that people can easily find me, and you need to explain very easily through 1 word, 2 words, 3 maximum, what you do, who you are and what you do.
So
and
when you say social, that automatically means social media.
Yeah, exactly. But it was too long, to say social media, so I had to shorten it.
So it's hashtag no spaces, hashtag social by Denisa.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to check that out. So, okay, so my thing is TV talk shows. So should my thing be hashtag TV talk shows? Ed?
Yeah, I would recommend adding your name because you are well known in the industry, so people will much easily find you this way. So yeah, could be, why not? It's a good idea.
Okay, and so what happens when somebody does that? How does that connect?
So, for instance, on LinkedIn, let's say you search for Stand with Ukraine, okay? So, and then you see everyone who's ever made a post about that and use that hashtag. You don't necessarily have to follow any of those people, but you are following the hashtag, so you automatically see all of the conversations that have been made on the specific topic. That's on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Now on TikTok, being a new platform, things are a bit different, but essentially, if you use certain types of hashtags, for instance, marketing, let's say, you may find videos that promote marketing techniques, or it's a broader subject, but depends on how specific the hashtag really is. And for instance, if you want to create one for your brand, at first there won't be, of course, many followers, but once you create the right type of content or people get to know you a little better, they might want to follow your hashtags, and others from their networks will as well see it.
Yeah. Okay. So a question about TikTok and say Telegram. So what's the big deal? I mean, those have to be only on the phone, right? It's not laptop, right?
Yes. So TikTok has been initially created for
It was like for little kids, right?
Yeah. That's, or at least that's what we all thought, because it's not the case anymore. Yeah, so it was a dancing platform initially, and teenagers were posting dances on trending music, and then it has become a very wild phenomenon, because at the moment TikTok not only promotes dancing videos, but only educational ones. There are lawyers who have created their own TikTok account to teach others how to work with certain topics, legal related topics. So, and it's also a great resource for artists as well, because once your music, let's say, got viral, it will automatically drive them to your Spotify account, to your YouTube, and you can monetize, the viewership from there. So, yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, so now, is it TikTok where you post something and then it disappears quickly?
No, that's Snapchat, actually. TikTok,
Snapchat.
Yeah. Snapchat used to do that. I'm not sure if they do anymore, but TikTok, no. There was actually a 3-minute limit now on TikTok. It was firstly 15 seconds, then they extended it to 3 minutes videos, and now they are planning to extend it to 10 minutes videos. So, they are trying to somehow follow into the YouTube's footsteps, but with the vertical video, not the landscape-based one. So, yeah.
What's a vertical video as opposed to a what?
I mean, that's a vertical video. When you hold it like that, if you hold it like that, it's landscape, and it's more YouTube friendly. That's for TikTok.
Got it. Okay. Fascinating talking with you. Thank you very much for being my guest on Global TV Talk Show, and I invite you to come back as things go forward for you.
Thank you for having me. It's been actually so great. Thank you.
Okay, and so is there a website you would like to announce?
Yes, you can find all of my services that I've mentioned before on isagocreativemanagement.com, ISAGO.
Cool. All right. I can see how that developed. Okay. Isa, go creativemanagement.com.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm going to go look.
Thanks, please do.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a nice
Thank you, Ed.
evening. Yes. Good night.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.